She waited 11 years for a proposal. My girl from Sailing La Vagabonde has finally gotten engaged. And I'm gonna be honest with you, my reaction may not be what you expect because as a relationship coach, I have some thoughts. Welcome back, guys and gals, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Jess. I'm a relationship coach, and I help you become the woman who naturally attracts the relationship and life you desire by raising your self-worth, your feminine confidence, and your standards so you become a natural match to the love and life you want. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, make sure you stick around and hit subscribe because this is literally the work we do together. In today's video, I'm gonna be reacting to Sailing La Vagabonde's latest video they just posted on their proposal. So I've been a longtime fan of Sailing La Vagabonde, both my husband and I, and we have been watching them for years. So when I opened up my YouTube this morning and saw on my homepage that they had just posted another video, and this time it was on their proposal after 11 years of being together. Needless to say, I was pretty excited for it, and so was my husband. So we actually kind of dropped everything and we pushed pause on work, took a little break, and we decided to start watching it together. And so throughout the whole video, we had thoughts and commentary on it. And after watching the video and kind of settling with it, I definitely have some thoughts. So I wanted to share them with you today. So I'm going to be watching the video back through and then just going over my thoughts over their proposal and their engagement process, and even some of their life philosophies that they kind of talk about in this video, because I think it's a really unique way of living, a really unique perspective. And I love seeing multiple sides to how people view marriage and relationships and being with a partner and family. And so I think that there's such a good example of more of like that unconventional way of living, which I love. So I'm going to record here on my screen and let's dive into the video.
I've been laughing to myself all morning about this, about explaining this idea, saying it out loud. So I've been keeping a secret from you guys. For about maybe the past year, this idea has been brewing in my mind, and that is to propose to Riley. This could go really pear-shaped because bit of a backstory for this to all make sense.
So quick pause right in the beginning. I wasn't expecting this at all. So we start watching and she first hits us with like a zinger. She's planning on proposing to Riley. So when I first saw this video pop up, I thought he proposed because she was in the white dress in the cover, and I'm like, oh my gosh, he finally did it. So when I first watched this video with my husband, my jaw dropped. I literally had to pause, like, what? She's gonna propose to him?
When Riley and I first met back in 2014 in Greece, we just spent 3 weeks sailing with each other, and we were at this little Greek beach bar. We were laying on a daybed, and he was like, okay, lay it all out for me. How many kids do you want? Do you want to get married? What's your ideal life look like? And I was like, oh, maybe 3 kids. Not too phased if I want to get married or not. And my ideal life is just living a free life, something that makes me happy. Can't remember what I said at the time. And he was like, oh, I never want to get married. It's much too traditional for me. And that became very apparent. Like, he didn't celebrate Christmas or Easter. He's an atheist, and he's very scientific and philosophical and all these things. And I was like, okay, sure, no worries. Like, we don't have to get married, that's cool. But in the last few years, I think after burnout, prior to that, Riley and I had very little time for each other. It was all go, go, go. We were building a life for ourselves, building our YouTube channel, and it was very high stress. And I would say we weren't in the most loving point in our lives. We did love each other, we just didn't show it because we were just surviving. But after burnout, when everything kind of reset, we are just more in love with each other every single day than we ever have been. And it might not show on camera. We don't usually pick up the camera when we're being like lovey, or we don't show a lot of us kissing on our YouTube channel, but we are in love. We're not brother and sister. Some of you have that theory. And I just thought, I think it's time that we celebrate our love. We don't have to get married. For him, like, we've been to a lot of weddings and he loves that for other people. But for him, he doesn't like the whole idea of everyone sitting down, watching 2 people exchange vows, you kiss the bride, and it's all like, ah. So I thought, I'm gonna put my own little spin on it, and I will ask him if he will spend a day celebrating our love together. And I hope he says yes. Like, I honestly don't know how he's gonna react to this. And it's been so hard to keep this a secret, and I'm so excited to finally get to share it. And I hope this video goes well. Like, I'm probably gonna post it even if he says no.
Okay, so my first reaction to this, to her being the one deciding to propose, and then her just kind of revisiting the backstory of going into burnout and what that looks like in a relationship, because it's not pretty, but then coming out the other side and feeling more in love. And then also now like surprising him with this proposal when his history, what he said to her is that he doesn't want a marriage. It's not for him. He doesn't fully believe in that, especially for himself. So my reaction is, first, I love a girl who like takes control in situations like this and like goes after what she wants. That is like, that's totally my vibe too. So like I was the first one to make the move on Jeff. You know, I knew that he liked me. I knew that, you know, this was going to be going somewhere. So I made the first move on him. And so with her, it's like, you know, this is what I want and I'm going to go for it. Like that to me just speaks like to my soul so deeply, because I love that ambition, that like go-getter mentality. And I know there'll be a lot of critics like, oh, but that's not feminine. And, you know, she's taking that away from the man, or, you know, whatever. It's a more masculine role. That's what the man's supposed to do. And it's like, yeah. And if you're traditional or you have kind of that more old-fashioned loving way of doing things, I totally understand that perspective and I get it. I get that you want the man to make the move, to make the plan, to be the leader, to do all those things, but they've been together for 11 years and they've accomplished so much together. I totally see the other side of it where she's like, you know what? And you can tell from if you have watched them, or if not, I suggest going to go watch them and starting from way back when. But she is fearless and a risk taker, and she is ready to challenge herself and do hard things. And so I think this is so fitting for her and them as a whole, because they're not traditional really in any sense. They've lived on a boat, they've sailed, they've had 2 kids, they're out of wedlock, and they've built this life on YouTube, and that is, you know, how they are choosing to live. So I think it's so fitting for them. I personally love that she went this route, and it's after 11 years. Like they have 2 children together, they built businesses together, they just bought land and a house together. So it totally makes sense for me. And it's totally on brand for them, you know, like this totally makes sense. And then when she talks about the burnout and how hard they were working and then coming out the other side, being more in love, that resonated with me so much, because if you don't know my story with my husband, Jeff, we went through a really rocky period where we built 3 6-figure businesses together. And then in the middle of that, he came down with chronic health issues and then was completely bedridden. And so it was that burnout of scaling businesses together. And then all of a sudden he was so ill and bedridden, and we didn't know what our future held for us. And so that was like our burnout. That was our rock bottom together, where we, you know, there was no real time or space to have all that love and connection, because we were, you know, building, trying to figure things out, trying to just put one foot in front of the other. So when she talks about her burnout and how, you know, they were trying to do all the things, they were sailing full time, they threw kids into the mix. They had 2 beautiful children. And they, of course, were building businesses and putting up videos. I cannot imagine. And they're sharing and being so vulnerable along the way. Like, that is incredible. So when she talks about that burnout and then coming out more in love on the other side, I feel like it's such a perfect sequence of events, because it's like, wow, they had to reconnect. They kind of had to rebuild and re-fall in love with each other, because it's always so easy in the beginning, which she also talks about, where they're in Greece and they're laying on a daybed on the beach and they're talking about their futures, and it's so whimsical in this kind of like dreamland state. And it's always so easy in the beginning of a relationship because hormones are flying and they're raging, and, you know, they're in a gorgeous spot. If you're traveling and doing all these fun things together, it's really easy to be so dreamlike. And then, you know, after a few months, real life starts to set in a little bit more. And then you have to navigate all those ups and downs and hardships and fun times, exciting times, sad times, and, you know, times that really piss you off, and overcome so much together. Like, that is how real deep relationships are built. And so to be able to come out the other side of that and then be falling more in love with each other, this proposal is like perfect. It's like so perfect to really celebrate that love and be like, okay, we are ready to start this next chapter together. So that's kind of my first initial thoughts on just the beginning of this video. I don't think it's for everyone. I do think that it's 11 years together. They know they're gonna be together. And I feel like most women, I won't say all, but most women, they do want to have, you know, that kind of special celebration and that moment of like sharing vows and wearing a gorgeous dress. And, you know, whether it's private where you're eloping and you're doing a private ceremony, or you want something that is in front of your loved ones, totally your preference. But I think a lot of women do want a version of that. And even if we say, you know, we don't, I think a part of us, we do. And I think it's natural for women to want that. And so I love that she was honest in the beginning about how she said, you know what, I could be fine like not getting married. And I do think that could be like a little bit of settling, because you know, we are having so much fun in the beginning of our relationships. Like, oh no, I could be fine. But then as time goes on, you kind of realize like, oh, I do want that. And so I love that she recognized that and was like, I think that this is the next step. And she even said like something changed. And so I love that she was honoring like people who can change their mind and be open about that. That is such a sign of intelligence in general. And I do believe that, you know, your values can evolve and the way that you want to live your life can change, especially as you grow, your family gets bigger, you decide you moved from a boat to moving on land, like so much change was happening. I could see how, you know, she kind of went through a portal herself where she's like, you know, I do want to get married and I'm going to give it a go. And I'm going to see what he says, because according to her, he didn't know it was coming. And I love surprises. So I also love that she kept this a surprise and she planned this whole thing herself too, and really wanted to surprise him. Like she wanted to get her own reaction from him. And I think it's like she would be able to really see if he wanted it or not when she asked, because he had no idea, you know, what was going to happen. So we'll get into that as I watch more of the video. But so far I am loving what I'm seeing, and those are my starting thoughts on her proposing and them getting engaged. So let's dive back into the video here.
So yeah, I'm going on a shopping trip and I have organized some rings to be sent to Sydney. So I'm gonna pick the rings up.
Okay, so also she's organized rings to be sent to Sydney. She's gonna go and get them, do some shopping for the farm they just bought. But she has ordered these rings. And so what I also love is like, she's a woman who knows what she wants. And I love because you know, it's kind of nice when you can pick what you want and you're gonna be wearing it for forever. So it's like she designed her rings, she designed his rings, she has a vision for this. I love a woman who also knows what she likes, and I love that she took this initiative to design a ring that she will love.
And yeah, I hope it all goes well. And then I'm going to find a way to get him to the clearing on our land where we're going to build the house. It's so beautiful. There's like a view of the ocean, and that's where I'm going to propose. I don't mind. It's all good. Hopefully.
I love like the giddy. You can tell like she's excited. Like she wants this. And so I love the nerves and how nervous she is, because I would be nervous too. Like what? So yeah, let's see how it all unfolds.
Last episode you guys might have seen, we were able to secure.
During the middle of this video, it's going over a lot of the land and everything. So I'm kind of like skipping through that a little bit because my husband and I already watched it this morning, but there was this one part where Elena, she finds this plant. It's like the ginger plant, some kind of ginger plant or whatever, but you're supposed to really use it to shampoo. So
I'm gonna show you. Look at that. It doesn't really lather up, but you can.
And when she's squeezing this plant, I'm like, damn, Riley's a lucky hubby.
Feel it in your hair. It's smooth.
I have a blister, weak hands. These guys, I'm sure, are laughing at me, but they're keeping it behind my back, which is much appreciated. But these guys are just so strong and fast and forest fit, bush fit.
This is one of my favorite parts of the video, and it was one of Jeff's favorite parts too. Riley is hilarious. Bush fit. That needs to be coined. That needs to be your fitness program, because you and Elena are both looking great.
On and done. Okay, that's 1 and 2. Okay, I'm gonna open. This one looks like it. I think this is it. Yeah, she makes them on the Sunshine Coast, so I was also lucky she could ship them on time.
When she opens the rings, I also love this because, you know, a woman who's being proposed to, she gets to see the ring, and her first impression or her first expression after seeing the ring is like, you know, like I have a photo of mine. My husband's brother, my brother-in-law, was hiding on a fence behind a tree somewhere with a camera, and he got my first reaction, and mine was, and so this is like her first reaction, and it's the same one that she would probably have as if she were being proposed to as well. So she is like genuinely excited, and I just love seeing her reaction to the rings that she bought. I think it's so beautiful.
So that's Riley's, and that's my... This one I need to figure out because I bought like a beautiful engagement ring, and then you put, I guess you put this one on with it when you actually like have your ceremony. So it's a little extra part to go with the ring, which I'll show you. I love it so much. Look at that. Look at how the light sparkles. And I just hope Riley says yes. If he says no, I'm gonna wear this anyway because it's too pretty to not.
Another thing I love is she's like, if he says no, I'm gonna wear it anyway. You can see that she has so much self-love, and that she is just excited about life and excited about and looking for what she wants out of life. You know, like that's so important. I think that's also why I vibe with this so much, and I love the fact that she is going to propose to him because she is being selfish in a great way, where she's like, this is what I want, and so nothing's really gonna stop me. I'm gonna try it. Like, why not? I love that regardless of what happens here, she's going after what she wants. She knows what she wants. She is very specific and clear on what she wants, and she obviously feels safe around him to even think about this idea of proposing to him. And on top of that, she bought gorgeous rings that no matter what happens, she's still gonna wear because she loves them.
Hey baby, I'm gonna bring my dress and my gumboots, and can you take some photos of me?
Yeah.
That reaction he did is so honest because I mean, he wins the gold today for Instagram or YouTube husbands, Instagram husbands, because that's the reaction that most men have when their girl comes up like, can you take some photos of me? And so we love that he is going to, but I just thought that was so funny. You can tell they've been together for quite some time. Elena, you're also reminding me that I need to go get my hair toned because your hair is looking great right now.
So this is our clearing. We're not sure exactly where we're going to build the house because there is a lot of space to work with.
Like a true pro, like nothing's gonna happen. She's just filming like normal, like, oh, here's the space, we're gonna clear it. Girl. Also love that you got the photos too, even though that wasn't the whole point of the dress.
Okay, here we go guys. I genuinely have no idea what Riley's going to say. I've seen this man look at me every way possible. Tired, salty, proud, annoyed, covered in boat grease, holding our babies, sailing through storms. But I have no idea how he's going to look at me when I ask him this. Is this what you guys feel like when you propose? Because respect.
I asked my husband at that point when Elena said, is this how you guys feel when you're about to propose? And I asked Jeff, I was like, oh, were you nervous? Because we've been together for six years at the, like when he proposed. And he was like, yeah, I was nervous. So to answer your question, Elena, if you see this, yes, they get nervous.
Anyway, wish me luck. 11 years ago we met, and
I would just immediately start crying. I would immediately start crying.
since then we've built the most incredible life together. We've sailed around the world, become parents to 2 beautiful boys, and somehow turned every storm, sunset and crazy moment into an adventure I never wanted to end. You've always been my best friend more than anything else. My favorite.
I'm not gonna lie, when I did watch this the first time around, I did get a little teary-eyed because it's just so special. Like, this is so special. And it's really hard getting so vulnerable in front of even somebody you've been with for so long, like opening up your heart. It still feels a little scary. And I think that that is good. I think that it's really good to still get those butterflies, to still feel nervous. It's just because you care so much about the other person. And I'm sure in this moment you're like, I hope he says yes, or Elena's like, I hope that he says yes. And so I think it's so honest to be so nervous in front of him. It just really, like, you see how much love there is and how much she cares.
A person to laugh with, dream with, and come home to, no matter where in the world.
Is Riley crying right there? Did we see him shed a tear?
Well, we are. I know neither of us cares much for tradition, but I would love nothing more than to spend the day celebrating this life and this love we've built together with you. So will you wear this really sick ring that I got you? And will you marry me?
The no hesitation, of course, babe. There was so much buildup leading up to this moment, and she set the tone so well in the beginning where, like, we don't know what he'll say because he did not want to be married. Like, that was one of their very first early on conversations. He didn't want to be married. He didn't believe in it. He doesn't believe in tradition. He loves it for others. It's not for him. And so for him just to have like this instant, of course, babe, it's like, you can change your mind. I don't think anything is ever or should ever be set in stone. I think this is having a growth mindset. And I'm sure back in those early days, he didn't know that they would be where they're at right now, 11 years later, with 2 kids, land, all these businesses they've built together. Like, I don't think anybody really pictures their life that far down the road with a person that is pretty early on in the relationship when you're still in that honeymoon phase. So I love that it was such a quick reaction that he had. It was an instant yes, basically. And it's like, wow, they're just in this new chapter of their lives. And I love that his mind totally changed. And it's because it's her. It's because it is her. So I was so curious about this part where he said, you beat me to it. And it's because we had that buildup where his whole philosophy on marriage is it wasn't for him. He didn't want to be married. And that's how they had gone through their lives up till this point, thinking, you know, maybe he didn't want to be married, or he knew he didn't. We all thought, well, maybe he really doesn't. And so when he said, you beat me to it, it's like, whoa, wait, were you thinking about doing this? Like, were you thinking about proposing? And it made me so curious because I know Jeff wanted to propose to me. I know that he wanted that to be a milestone in his life. Like, that was important to him to do that. And I know to some it is, but I do know to others, they don't mind. I wonder if he feels like he maybe missed out on proposing. It has been 11 years though. So it's like, it happened and they're not traditional. So this is literally perfect for not being traditional. But when he says that, I'm curious if he feels like, oh man, I missed out, kind of a feeling. I missed out on doing that, or I wish I thought of this first. But she's like, I did beat you to it, where it's like they both wanted it. And it's like, okay, whatever comes first, like, so be it.
Are you gonna do it? Oh.
And then she asks, were you gonna do it? And he goes, yeah. And so I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like, how do we decide, or how do we have this communication in the relationship where it's like, it's been a long time, we've been together for so long, and you know, maybe he's thinking about it, he wants to propose, he's just maybe getting settled in the house. And we know men are so good at doing one thing very, very well, where women, like, we, you know, spin 1,000 plates at all hours of the day. And that's just how we're like biologically wired. So I can see where he's like getting settled in the house. He's like, I want to do it, but I'm getting settled on our land and in this house and like getting everything moved. And so he's doing that like super, super well. And it's like, okay, when I'm settled, then I'll do it. I could see like that being a cadence for him, where Elena, as a woman, we juggle and we spin and we do so many things at once that it's like, oh, I can take over the world and propose at the same time. So yeah, I find this part so curious, and I wonder what's going through his head.
So do you want like a traditional wedding, like where people come, or do something private?
No, I think like we'll just have a party here.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We can have a private
Bush
ceremony.
dove.
I thought we could have a private ceremony at the banyan tree, just us and the person who does it.
You've already planned it.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's like, you've already planned it all. And she goes, yes. It's like, that's what I was saying in the beginning. I think that women, in some capacity, we do think about, most of us, not all of us, but I think a lot of us, we do think about that special day with our special person. And like she has, and goes back in the beginning, she's like, oh, I could be fine not, and then not having a wedding, and then time goes on, and she's like, oh man, I actually kind of do want one, and look where we're at now, and look at what all we've done, and all we've overcome, and how we're falling so much more in love together. And so she like has planned the whole wedding already, which I love, like my girl, because I do the same thing.
And a sick bush tour.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Like a mini festival.
Yeah.
I love the mini festival. Like that got me hyped. I'm like, oh, that would be so sick to have a wedding celebration that's like a mini festival. You're giving me ideas.
I didn't check with your mum or dad, but I didn't know if I don't know, it feels like a man thing to do.
You don't need to check with my dad. We're definitely adults.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think I want to wear a yellow dress.
I love how it just keeps unfolding too. She's like, well, I didn't check with your parents. I hope that's okay. And it's like, he's like, we're adults. You don't need to check with my parents. And then she's like, I want to wear a yellow dress. It's like what just happened in the sense is traditional, where they're engaged, then they're going to get married. But that's like the only thing that can be considered traditional in this. And I love that they're still like dancing to the beat of their own drum. She wants to wear a yellow dress, not a white dress, not a cream dress, like a yellow dress. And they're really making it their own. And like, I think that's such a cool sign to see in people. You see that they like genuinely love each other. They genuinely care about each other. They genuinely care about maintaining their values. They genuinely care about creating something that's memorable for them as a couple. And so I talk about this so often, but it's like the love you have with yourself, your relationship with yourself always comes first. And I talked about that earlier in this video, where she has so much self-love. She is very happy with where she is at in life, and she is a go-getter, and she's going to do what she wants to do because it makes her happy. And I think that's so important. And then after you give love to yourself, you're able to give love to your partner. And so that's what we're seeing here, where now they're going to have this beautiful ceremony together, and it's going to be where they can just be with each other and pour into each other's cups and celebrate that moment together. So I mean, this gets me stoked.
Success, everyone! I can calm the heck down now. That was not fun. No, that was really fun. But geez, I didn't think I'd be so nervous in front of you. Like, we've been together for 11 years. There's nothing I don't do in front of you. Like, I even sit on the toilet in front of you and I can't read out some words.
Okay, sitting on the toilet in front of a man is so different than opening up your heart so big for him, which is what Elena did by reading those words to him about how she deeply felt. It came straight from the heart. And and it wasn't a big long paragraph or speech. It was just simple words that expressed how she truly felt. So, taking a dump in front of him, so different than laying it all out there and like laying your heart on the line for him.
Was just saying to Elena that I was thinking about it as well. I don't know, I just feel like something's changed between us, and we're on land now and have time to think about this stuff.
So Riley said in the end, something's changed between us and now we're on land. We actually have time to think about it. And it's so cool that they did wait this long, because they have done and have accomplished and achieved and just built so much. And Elena even says that they hit burnout. And so it's so hard to really give something like this, like marriage proposal, the time and love it needs when you are so tied up with all the other things you're doing, because you're also trying to build a life. And so I think it's really cool and admirable that they waited until they had the time to really slow down and enjoy this moment, because I'm a big believer in partnership in marriage. I've always wanted a life partner, a husband, someone I can build a family with, someone that I get to have a beautiful marriage with, and we get to exchange vows and we get to build a life together. But going through what I went through with my husband, where it was like the building phase of the businesses and then he became bedridden, like there was no time in there for us to be like, okay, yeah, let's get married now. So we did wait longer for us to get married. And so I love that they also were in no rush. They just like knew. And I do believe like when you know, like if this is your person. And they complement each other so well, and they came together in a way that was so complimentary. So I love that they actually did wait so long so that they could they have a gorgeous life now. Look at everything that they've created, and they seem so happy and in love, and more in love now. And they have these beautiful children. So I think it's really cool that they waited until they could slow down, enjoy, and just embrace this moment together.
Life's comparatively easy compared to how it has been.
So my kind of final thoughts on this video, and Elena being the one to propose to Riley, and it being after 11 years of being together. I don't think that relationships and marriage are just a one size fit all. I think that there are a lot of paths you can take to get you where you want to go. And I think it's bespoke to who you are. And so because Riley and Elena are so complementary to each other, they both didn't want a traditional route. Otherwise, they wouldn't both have ended up on a boat together, you know? And so I think that it's really important that you decide what it is you want in life and get that clarity and have that awareness about yourself, about what you truly want. Like I said in the beginning, when Elena kind of brushed off like, okay, I don't need to get married. I do think that that is a form of settling in the beginning, and it's easy to do so when you're in the beginning and the hormones are raging and you're having the best time of your life, you're traveling, you're in beautiful places. And then when life starts to set in, and then you move on down the road and you're like, well, actually, I kind of do want to get married. I love that she can change her mind and be honest about that. I also love that Riley can change his mind and be honest about that. And I think that it helps, you know, that getting that clarity so that you do understand like what your standards are in life, like what kind of life you want to create, what kind of life you want to build. And so I love that Elena kind of took it into her own hands to do it. And I think it was perfect because Riley said, for as far as she knew, he didn't want to get married. So she was taking a risk and she was going to try something to see, you know, if it was something that was on the table. And then I think Riley's reaction to it was just so genuine and honest and loving. And you can tell that they really have kind of like entered a new chapter, maybe even a full new book in the series of La Vagabonde. And so I can't wait to see what happens next for them. But overall, I am stoked for them. I love that they danced the beat of their own drum. I love that they made this whole experience their own. They didn't follow really any rules. And I think that's what is really important in life and with your life partner, that you don't do things just to check a box. You do things because you genuinely want to do them and you're excited about them, and you have a partner because you are excited to have a life partner, and you are fully in love with yourself so that your partner can fully love you as you are, and you get to create a beautiful life together. So that's it for this video. If you liked the reaction video, let me know and I will make some more of these. Let me know in the comments below. If this resonated with you, please like and subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. And of course, I do offer one-to-one coaching if you are ready to become the woman who naturally attracts the relationship and life you desire and attract your husband. I will leave my book a call link in the description below so you can book a free relationship call with me. We can chat, see where you're at, see where you want to be, and see if we're a good fit to work together. And of course, remember, self-love isn't optional. It's a foundation for the relationship and life you desire. Thanks so much for being here today, you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.